Good morning, Craig Howard here. Happy to be with you again this morning. There is a book written called Hinds Feet in High Places, and it's an allegory similar to Pilgrim's Progress. If you've never read Pilgrim's Progress, you don't really understand what that's about. But it covers the overall Christian journey of life, and the main character is a character called Much Afraid. And Much Afraid is constantly being harassed by her family. Her family is called the Fearings, and they're constantly harassing her and giving her a hard time. They criticize her all the time. They just give her a rough life, which just keeps her much afraid. But Much Afraid loves the character in the book called the Shepherd. And the shepherd keeps promising to take her to this lovely place in the high mountains, or the high places. I guess it's called the high places. And there she'll find contentment and peace, and she won't be harassed and all of that. But for her journey, the shepherd gives her two journeying companions, sorrow and suffering. And you think, why would the shepherd give her sorrow and suffering? Birds are loud this morning. Why would the shepherd give her sorrow and sufferings to go along on that journey? But he does, and she starts the journey, and it comes to a point in Much Afraid journey when she's tempted to listen to a character called Pride. And she's tempted to give into that and listen to the temptation and just abandon her journey and not try to reach the high places. But she calls to the chief shepherd, who rescues her from Pride and kind of rebukes her very gently, but kind of rebukes her that she shouldn't have let go of sorrow and suffering on her journey. And the moral of the story, well, the moral of what he's trying to teach in this is the struggle with fear and anxiety and all of that can be encouraged by God using sorrow and suffering to kind of help us along our journey with Christ. That sometimes sorrow and suffering have their place in our lives. Sometimes we need to hold on to those. Sometimes we need to endure that. Sometimes we need to go through that. And it's not easy. The last year and a half have taught us that holding on to sorrow and suffering can be really difficult, but they have their place in our life. They have a part of our development, of our growth, of us becoming who we're really going to be. The Bible says in Psalm 66 verse 10, it says, "For you, God, tested us. You refined us like silver." How did he refine us? He refines us through the trials. He refines us through the testing. The testing, if we hold on to him, if we hold on to God and don't run from the trials that come our way, but if we continue to hold on to God and reach out to him, it's through the trials, it's through the sorrow, it's through the suffering that we're made strong, that we're taken care of, that we grow, that we become what we need to be. And I think sometimes we forget that. I think sometimes we fail to use that in the way that we're supposed to. But sorrow and suffering have their place in our life. And it's been a hard lesson for me to learn. I'll be honest with you, I've had some broken bones, and I've lost some friends that are close to me. But in the last few years, I've lost my three best friends, and I've gone through some physical struggles with my knees and just getting older, just stuff that have made them some of the hardest years of my life. And I've learned so much about my relationship with God. As much as I hate the struggles that I've gone through, it's during those struggles that I reached out to God more than I had maybe in all the years previously, and grabbed hold of him for strength and help, and found that through him I could make it through the struggles. I could make it through the sorrow. And I'm not telling you to go out and look for sorrow and suffering. I'm not telling you that that's something you need to add into your life to make your life better. Don't go looking for it. It'll find you. There won't be any lack of that. But don't run from it either. When it comes, I'm not saying embrace sorrow and suffering. I'm saying embrace God. reach out to him for your strength and for your for your help. And if you're going through that right now, the chief shepherd is always there. He's always right there available to help you through whatever it is you're struggling with. I want to remind you of that, especially if you're going through some struggles right now. You know, and there's no age limit to that. I've watched teenagers endure incredible struggles and incredible suffering, especially for their age. Maybe it's through their parents breaking up. Maybe it's through a breakup with a boyfriend or girlfriend that you really cared about. Maybe you lost your best friend in an accident. I've heard teenagers tell me some of the most incredible struggles. If you're in a struggle, whether you're a high schooler or whether you're a senior citizen, understand that the Good Shepherd is always there. You have a great day. Lord willing, I'll talk to you on Monday. God bless.